Hi guys, it's Sophie. So I'm going to be doing a book haul for you guys today. I mentioned that I might do one in my last video, and some of these books I have read, so that's kind of my caveat when we go in, is I've read quite a few of the books I've hauled because I'm reading, wrapping up. So some of them I've already read but I haven't talked about yet, so I'm going to go through the ones I bought more recently now. The first one that I have is The Collected Schizophrenias by Esme, Wang, and this is a collection of essays talking about the kind of family of mental health conditions kind of collected under the term schizophrenia. The author has schizoaffective disorder, which is a slightly different form of sort of psychosis and confusion, you know, that kind of delusional hallucinatory symptoms that we associate with schizophrenia, but it's slightly different to schizophrenia. I have finished this one, but I'll talk about that one soon in a wrap up. And the next one that I have is If Not Winter, which is fragments of Sappho's poems, and this is translated by Karl. In this edition they have the Greek next to the words that are there, and there's a lot of use of the page in terms of to show where the line gaps are and where the breaks are. So there's things like on this page you've got the text and then you have kind of a blank section where it's missing a few words and then another part of the poem. So there's that one. I picked this one up as a companion read with the Pisces because the main character in the Pisces is translating and working on a dissertation based on Sappho's poems. And then the next one that I have is Unwanted Advances by Kipnis. I picked this up expecting it to be something other than it is, and I'm just going to tell you that quickly because I'm not doing lots of chat about these books in here. So the line on the cover is, "I can think of no better way to subjugate women than to convince us that assault is around every corner." This is talking about sexual assault in campuses, but I really disliked the route and tenor of the author's discussions here, and I gave it 1 star in the end. So just because I'm showing it to you and I don't want to say too much, I just want to do a disclaimer because I was interested in it at face value but didn't like it at all. The next one is one I absolutely ate up when I got it, and I will do a full review video of this one soon, and that is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russel. This is my first 2020 proof, so this has got a little bit of time before it comes out. It comes out in January, so at least it's not like at the end of next year. But this is talking about a young girl, she's 15, who has a relationship with one of her teachers at her school. It's a very buzzy book at the minute. People are comparing it to Lolita, but like with the Me Too movement elements of that thrown in too. As I say, I'll do a full review video on this book, and I did really like it. I read it in like a night and like the beginning of a Saturday last week, and I think it's quite exciting one to look out for next year. Next is one I picked up that I've seen everywhere, and literally I think I just like randomly saw it in the bookshop and was like, I should get round to it. And that's The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. I've never read any Meg Wolitzer before, and I'm not quite sure what drew me to this one. I think it's probably that, at least from my like surface level of reading it, there is a lot of references to like larger feminist icons that are worked into the characters of the characters in this book. This is about a young woman who goes to university and meets a woman called Faith, who is running a huge feminist organisation. She's like a someone who's like a massive person and speaker and presence like in the feminist world, and she sees her speak and then decides she wants to change the way that she's living her life. I'm like, what's that? Not quite a third, a bit more than a quarter of the way through this one at the moment. The next one is a thriller, which isn't my usual fare, but the publishers reached out and asked if I'd like a copy, and I was intrigued. And this is Our Kind of Cruelty by Mita Hall, and it's got quotes on it from Gillian Flynn, the people who, Sarah Shepherd, who wrote Pretty Little Liars, and a New York Times one, and I was like, yeah, I can go with this. And it seems to have done like fairly well in the like crime thriller world, so I thought I will give it a go. I very rarely do it. I don't know too much about what it's about, other than it was kind of sold as like quite a feministy thriller. There's elements about women and their desire and how women express their desire and how they're judged for it, and the impacts of that. yeah, so I really don't know very much more than that, I'm afraid. But this is something I think I might go to when my brain's a little bit more frazzled. Moving and things have been stressful, and I think sometimes I find thrillers quite easy to just go through and not think about so much. So I might read this one like close up to the move is my thought, or I'll save it for like a really sunny weekend and I'll try and read it in one go. So those are the two things, the two ways I think I'm going to read this one. And then the last book I have, I'm really excited for. This is one that I had, I've got for review as well. But if I hadn't have been able to get it for review, I would have bought it when it came out. It's one of those like books you're really excited for the year. So this one is out in July, so it's not that far. Oh, hello Falls. It's not that far to go, and this is Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. This is non-fiction, despite the like gorgeous cover, and this is about a journalist who goes to stay with three different women for a really long period of time. I think it's like 4 or 5 years, and gets really in detail into their lives. Each one of these women had expectations for themselves or their lives which weren't fulfilled, and she is really just like showing their lives and how these unfold over a long period of time for these three separate women, and talking about the things that have gotten in the way. So it's kind of like, it probably reads, I imagine, quite like fiction, in that it's so close and there's such detail in here, and that these are ordinary people, these aren't like celebrities, and I just thought that's absolutely fascinating. I love the idea of like really long form, like in-depth portrayals of people, and I think it's going to be really fascinating. So that is Three Women by Lisa Taddeo, and it's out in July. And the very last thing I'm going to show to you today is the edition of O. I love this cover, so I'm just going to give you a second with the cover. You guys know about this magazine if you've been here for a while. It's my favourite magazine. I have just started it. This edition is on the colour blue, so they kind of take like wide themes and then work around them. If you guys haven't seen it before, they have like long form writing pieces, some photography, like there's one here about like a selection of water ballet ladies who are like, we aren't shaving. So it's kind of like just lovely things, like a variety of lovely things, and the ads never feel like intrusive, and like you never feel like you're being sold something or being told you need to be something. It's just my favourite magazine to just go and sit with, and it feels like a community of people that I love and am a part of. So yes, there's the new editions out. If you aren't subscribed, you can pick this up in bookshops as well. Maybe just try an issue and see if you like it. There's no sponsorship here, no adverts. I just really love it, and I talk about it quite a lot, so I just sort of show you that I have the next edition of O. So those are all of the like physical books I have to show you. I would show it to you, but the cat's on my lap. The cat is plonked on my lap having a lick, and I don't know if I want to disturb her. But I have also got myself a gigantic cross stitch. And by gigantic, I mean it's like nearly a metre by a metre. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as big as it was. I was expecting it to be fairly big, but it's much bigger than I expected. So I've really been enjoying doing that. I find it really mindful, I find it really relaxing, and I listen to audiobooks when I do it. And I was trying to think, what would I like to listen to, but probably I'm a bit intimidated to read it in paper. And I've decided to read My Struggle by Karl of Knausgard. Oh god, that's going to be so wrong. I've decided to listen to those collection of 6 books. They are similarly, actually, in a weird way, to Three Women, like super autobiographical fiction. So like the Three Women is like super fictionalized non-fiction, if that makes sense, like super fiction like non-fiction, and My Struggle is like the other way round. Like it's supposed to read like fiction, but it's not. So I thought I was going to give them a listen, and I literally just started at the beginning of book 1, and the writing style is so very me, so I'm really hoping I'm going to enjoy that when I listen to it. It's a book I hear referenced quite a lot in terms of that people are often criticising women for drawing from their real life experiences. They say, oh, you're just writing a memoir, and he's literally writing like about his own life without disguising like names or events, and people don't level that criticism against him. and I just thought it would be really interesting to read. It's a long old one. There's 6 books and they're all like fairly hefty, so that's going to be my like longer term project, and that might be like a year-long project for like physical cross stitch, but yeah, it's a florist shop, and I'm excited to keep going. So that's everything I was going to show to you guys today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You probably noticed that I have no hair. I like doing dramatic things to my hair when I'm a little bit stressed out, and I'm really enjoying this specific dramatic thing I've done to my hair. It took me a little bit of time to get used to it because it's such a big change, but I'm actually really enjoying it and playing with it, like realising how I like it and how I don't like it, or what I like to do with my makeup to like balance it out and stuff. So still figuring that out. Yes, so that's everything I was going to talk to you guys about today. Hopefully you're well. I've got some really exciting books, I think, that I've got recently and read recently, or have got to read. So hopefully there's something in there that you're interested in. Let me know if any of them are ones that you want to pick up, either when they come out or that you would like to pick up if you had like time and money to read them. And I'll see you guys again soon in another video. Bye!